Hello, my name's Ben Haslam. I'm the inventor of the Kebaartmate, a unique artist stretcher. A stretcher that's been very carefully developed to enable you to stretch paper, canvas and silk very easily. This DVD's designed to help you get the very best out of the product, to give you a lifetime of enjoyment, and also show you some really useful tips to help you develop your watercolour painting technique. The Kebaartmate is very easy to use in the studio or outdoors, and it enables the artist to stretch any kind of paper, from the lightest papers to the heaviest weighted watercolour papers, tight as a drum. An absolutely unique surface which offers beautiful glide to the paint as it drifts across the surface. The Kebaartmate is made of anodised aluminium and high impact plastic. Its surface is resistant to oils, acrylics, inks and staining watercolours, so that it's going to look as good as new from the day you bought it. I'm going to use a quarter Kebaartmate for this demonstration. Before I stretch the piece of paper, I must make sure it's to the right size, and this is very easy to do, because I can just simply use the marker lines on the moving frame members, 2 marked on each. I place the paper down, just square it up and make sure that the paper is at least between the 2 marker lines, and this will ensure that it's going to work properly. Then I need to open the frames of the Kebaartmate. I'm going to use the winding key provided. I place it in the bolt, and then using the key like this with my finger, I can back wind the bolt until it stops. When it's in that stop position, I can open the frames. As simple as that. To stretch paper effectively, I must give time for the paper to soak using water. This is going to expand the fibres of the paper, enabling me then to use the key to trap the margins of the paper, so as it dries it just gets tighter and tighter. And I've got tension control, a unique feature of the Kebaartmate that will draw it absolutely tight as a drum. But to do this, I must first at least wet the paper. I must use plenty of water as well. You can use it in the Artmate when the frames are open like this, and splash the paper around. Give it plenty of time to soak, because you want the paper to expand, and then the frames of the Artmate are going to hold the paper, and as you wind the bolts it's going to provide a lovely tension across the surface, super tight. This is a no pre-drying method that I'm using, and it's a method I use when I want to paint straight away, when I'm inspired to paint, and it's going to give me flexibility to have that lovely dry surface to use a variety of different watercolour techniques, from wet into wet surfaces, wet onto dry. The paper's ready to use when it's nice and soft like fabric. You can see when I hold the paper up like this, it's wobbly, nice and soft, rather like a cloth. Then I turn the paper over, so it's dry side up now. Then, using the frames, I just close them across the periphery of the paper, and then make sure that the paper lies between the marker lines here. That's perfect. I can just tweak the edges here, make sure that it's nice and square. This is going to ensure that it's trapped in the margins of the frame, so you'll get the very best out of the stretches. Then, using the winding key provided, I then go around the frames, resting the bolts lightly on the frames. In a way you could think of it, it's like putting the wheel of a car on. 1 bolt at a time, just wind it. But don't put any tension over the paper yet. You know, I'm seconds away from having a fantastic surface like never before possible. A bit of practice, you get very quick at this, doing this kind of thing. So then I'm ready to start to apply some tension across the paper. A unique feature patented with the Artmate. Bolt goes in, and using a key I'm going to put 1 full turn on each of the bolts. you can immediately feel the tension going. It starts to stiffen up, going around. So now I'm back to the beginning and I've got this absolutely beautiful surface ready to work on, tight as a drum. When you want to change the shape of your Kebaartmate, simply open the frames, undo the bolts that are attaching the component length you require, put them to one side, close the frames and take away the length. Slide the baseboard out and reposition the component with the lengths that you require. If I want to use a Kebaartmate for stretching canvas or silk, it's very easy to use. Simply open the frames of the Artmate, place a book of similar size in the centre of the frame. This will support the fabric. Position the canvas or silk, close the frames and ensure that the fabric is square between the marker lines, as with paper. Then, using the winding key provided, rest the bolts lightly on the frame, going all the way round. Apply a good turn on each bolt and you'll see the canvas or the silk coming up tight as a drum, ready to work on. It's very easy to re-stretch an unfinished painting in the Kebaartmate. Simply position the painting upside down, wet the back of the paper, allow it to soak, turn the paper over, reposition the frames, and using the winding key provided, bring the paper up, tight as a drum, ready to work on.